What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of the CubCast Daily. And today, we are doing something a little bit different. Something I've been kind of semi-planning for a little while. I've been trying to work out the best format to do this in. But as you can probably tell by the thumbnail, we're doing something a little bit different today. First of all, though, if you are enjoying the content we are putting up on the channel, especially during this period where there isn't much music being released, please make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page. Of course, turning notifications on as well. Leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff, especially during this period of sort of December, January time, where the music industry is in a little bit of a slumber. Your support actually makes a lot of difference on the channel, so please do make sure you are getting involved if you're enjoying what we're doing. Today, we are going to be building a first 11 football team out of AFROBEATS artists. Now, just to clarify what this means, I'm basically going to be using comparisons from how artists perform, their kind of catalogues, the approaches they bring, and basically using those in a kind of synonymous way with footballer traits, and building a first 11 out of my my current favourite AFROBEATS artists. So this should be really exciting to do. I don't quite know how it's going to go. Again, I would love to see your teams. If you guys want to put a team together, please do feel free to send them over to me via Twitter. But this is what we're going to be getting into today. I've got a chart over here set up via buildlineup.com, so you can see we have got an 11. And I'm very, very excited to get into this. So there we go. We are going to open up then. I've got a little list on my screen of the artists and where I'm going to put them and why I'm putting them there. We are opening up with the goalkeeper. Of course, this is a man that needs to be solid. You need to have kind of a proven track record. You need to have someone that doesn't really make mistakes, someone that's able to distribute out to others really easily and just kind of read the game. And I couldn't think of anyone better to do this than the one and only Don Jazzy. That is who is going to be my goalkeeper in this first 11 team. Again, someone that reads the game. He understands everything that's going on. He's got his concentration at full at all times, which is what you need from a goalkeeper, but he's also able to kind of, again, read the play. He's able to get involved in play, which a lot of modern keepers need to be able to do. Again, proven track record, like his catalogue of work speaks for itself, and obviously the kind of involvement in other projects as well speaks for itself as well. So that's where we're going for our goalkeeper. Hopefully, you guys sort of understand the direction we're taking this video now. That kind of hope, I think, will make it make a bit more sense. Now, for me, in regards to fullbacks, I always find with fullbacks, in the best teams, you tend to have a combination of both kind of modernized experience and youth. That's what tends to work best with fullbacks. So, for my experienced guy, the guy that very rarely gets beaten, someone that is very good at kind of taking other people on, arriving on the scene at just the right time to be able to whip a through ball in or be able to whip a cross in, but also defensively solid. As I said, very rarely gets beaten, constantly able to kind of throw tricks at you as well that you weren't necessarily expecting, and improves year on year with that experience still being in tow. So we are going to go for the one and only Olamide as my right back for those reasons. He's the experience. Now, on the left-hand side is where I'm going to put my more sort of youthful, more kind of recent addition to the squad, and I'm going to go for Loj. Now, the reason that I'm picking Loj as my left back is this. I think fullbacks need to be players that are able to kind of be refreshing. You need to have new ideas as a fullback because it's a position that is constantly changing. It's constantly having different things kind of added to it and taken away, different responsibilities and things like that. And I think Loj is one of the artists right now in AFROBEATS that is doing stuff completely differently from everyone else. The kind of electronic influence we hear in his music kind of gives him a completely different feel. He's obviously skippy when he needs to be. He knows how to produce a banger, and he is obviously very refreshing, and that is why he is going in my left back spot, because I think he's someone that knows exactly what he's doing and yet is able to kind of, again, burst onto the scene and deliver something refreshing, which is what fullbacks need to do in 2023. Again, guys, if you'd like to see more football related content and more sort of things like this, do let me know in the comment section down below, and of course I want to hear your 11s as well in the comments down below. Moving into our centre back pairing then, we need consistency. We need people that know exactly what we're doing, and we also know people that know how to turn up and just kind of have an impact on a game immediately. The best centre-backs are the ones that come into a team and just go, right, we are changing this pattern and we are doing something that's going to keep it solid. So I need two solid players as my centre-backs. First of all, I am going for Fireboy DML as one of my centre-backs. Again, an artist that has been so consistent with kind of pushing the boundaries out there, but remaining true to what he's supposed to do. And this is a theme we're seeing now with a lot of centre-backs. You have ball-playing centre-backs a lot of the time. Fireboy DML is able to play those passes, but is also able to hold the ground on his ones. And that's what I like from, that's why he is one of my centre-backs. I think he's going to be very good in that role. Next to him, we are going to go for an artist who I feel is actually quite underrated in what he does, and that is Pato Ranking, a guy that knows how how to kind of turn up and again just provide that kind of oomph, that kind of strength at the back. I always feel the best centre-back pairings, you have kind of a level, you have an artist that's quite finessey and an artist that is quite kind of like, well, not an artist, you have a defender that's quite finessey and you have your rock. For me, Fireboy DML is the one that's full of finesse, and then Pato Ranking is my rock, because Pato Ranking doesn't miss, and it's very difficult to get kind of round him. When he drops a banger, everyone knows he's drops a banger. Fireboy DML obviously has a very consistent body of work and often provides quite finessey things. He's had his big move, if you want to kind of call Peru like the big sort of move. He's won the Champions League with that, and is one of the highly decorated players. So there we go. That's my centre-back pairing and my back five now completed. Low J, Fireboy DML, Pato Rankin, Olamide, and Don Jazzy in goal. Now, moving into the midfield, this is obviously the engine. This is where you need your stars. Realistically, people kind of see centre forwards as the stars in teams. For me, I want a bagsman as my centre forward. I don't necessarily want someone that's playing a lot and getting involved in other places. I want someone that's going to hit the target every single time. So my midfield is very well thought out. So in the more defensive position, I'm going to go for CK. And the reason for this is this. I am not necessarily playing two CDMs. I'm playing two centre midfielders because there's going to be enough finesse and control in this midfield for there not to be a need for a complete CDM. And I do believe in the CDM role very, very highly. I think it's so important in the modern game. But the way I'm adjusting this team, we're going to be very possession-based. So we won't actually need to have that kind of, I suppose, brute force in the CDM role. So I'm going for CK as my 6. This is a guy that makes the game look very, very easy. This is a guy that brings a level of finesse. This is a guy that can pick a pass, he can play the through ball, he can also just perform magic by himself. He's got the feet to beat a man in the middle, but also the finesse to kind of spray a pass out wide, and that's why he is in there. Again, banger after banger after banger from CK, the sort of heartbeat of the team. Trying new things, being inventive, and linking up with other artists really well. When have you heard CK collaborate and it not be fantastic? That's why he's in the middle of the park. Next to him, then, we are going, as I said, this is an all-star midfield. We are going for Burna Boy in the 8 role. He is going to be basically moving around the pitch and going to a lot of different places. Right now, there aren't many artists that are busier than Burna Boy when it comes to releasing music, when it comes to touring, when it comes to kind of branding and things like that. He is one of the busiest artists out there, and that's what I need in midfield. I need busyness, I need hustle, I need work rate, and that's what Burna Boy has, and he has work rate stacked on top of finesse, stacked on top of a level of class, and that's why that's going to be my midfield pairing. I love the idea of CK and Burna Boy bouncing off each other. One's doing all the running, the other one's pinging all the passes. It just makes a lot of sense, and I think Burna Boy is the star in the middle of the park for me. But in the cam role, in the central attacking midfield role, I think you need to have someone that knows how to find a pocket the way that no one else can. The ability to kind of slide onto something and make it look easy, make it look simple, but actually what he's doing has a real level of technicality to it. And we are, of course, in the cam role going for WizKid. The reason he is there is literally because he knows how to pick the pass. He knows how to decide what to do. And for me, the cam role, the most important trait in a central attacking midfielder role is the idea of decision making. It's very, very rare we see WizKid make a musical decision wrong. Obviously, the most recent album wasn't the most sort of celebrated thing. It was nowhere near Made in Lagos in regards to the popularity, but then again, it has received more streams in the same amount of time. The amount of time it actually took for Made in Lagos to properly take off as an album, this album is actually doing better, More Love, Less Ego, in regards to the amount of time it's been out and the amount of streams it has. So you can kind of do that, and I feel with a lot of cams you do kind of get misrepresented a lot of the time. Bruno Fernandes, really good example of this. I'm a United fan, as you can probably see from some of the pictures and videos on this channel. I'm a big United fan, and I love Bruno Fernandes. I feel he's very much misrepresented, but he knows how to pick a pass, and he knows how to put bangers out there, and he knows how to score, and he has been so consistent with that, and I think that's exactly the sort of role that WizKid's going to be playing. Just this constant threat. If you don't mark him out the game, he's going to be causing damage. That's why he's in the cam role for me. Now, for wingers, I've taken this quite literally. I think with wingers, you need to be silky, you need to be smooth, you need to have the ability to beat your player, you need to have the ability also to kind of whip across in. You also need to have the ability to shoot and score when you need to. And a lot of the time, the best goals are actually scored by wingers. They tend to be one of the more techie roles in the pitch. It tends to be either your centre midfielders or your wingers who are the most technically gifted players a lot of the time. And that is why on the left-hand side, I am going for Oxlade. Can you think of someone who has more more finesse in the sort of scene right now than Oxlade. Obviously, you look at Colossa, you look at the remix of that, you look at the other tracks he's released since then. Obviously, Bad Boy, very finessey tune. Want You came out slightly before, but again, very, very finessey tune. You look at the new Vivo Upload, which is just pure finesse in the way that he layers his vocals. He's tricky, he's got the skill set to beat someone, he knows how to produce a banger, but also knows how to do some really cool collaborative work as well. That is why, with the silky skills, he is on the left-hand side for me. On the right-hand side, I am going for impact. I'm going for, again, someone that doesn't really miss, but is also able to kind of tee up for a good collaborative maneuver, and that is Kiz Daniel. For me, Kiz Daniel is one of the most consistent out there in regards to actually releasing bangers. Last year, he had an incredible year. Even though he didn't necessarily have like the big EP or project, he popped up on 2 of the biggest tracks of the year, obviously Koff and Booga. Booga being a collaboration with Techno, making that sort of collaborative element work, and then also, obviously, Koff being sort of his standout moment. This is a guy that knows how to put a banger in. He knows how to score, but he also knows how to assist, and that is why he is on the right-hand side for me. And then up front, I think this is a very obvious decision. I've actually made comparisons on this channel before to this guy and a certain centre forward, that centre forward being Erling Haaland, in regards to the fact that he just scores. He very rarely misses. He needs one opportunity and he will score, which is why my number 9, the one in the box, the poacher, the guy that's going to continuously bag, is Ashark. This guy, oh my word, if you look at his sort of success rate in regards to sort of, let's say, shots on goal, how many shots on goal has he had that haven't gone in? Like, his actual shooting success rate is incredibly high, and that's what I want from my centre forward. I don't want someone that's going to necessarily kind of break the mould and go and do 1,000 different things as my centre forward. No, I want someone in the box who knows where the goal is, and that is exactly who Ashark is. So there we go. That's the way I'm running it. Ashark is my striker. I don't think that needs much more description. I definitely think he is someone that knows how the game works. I think he's someone that's going to know how to bag each and every time, and that makes up my team. Don Jazzy in goal, Fireboy DML and Pat Rankin as my centre backs. I want Loj and Olamide as my overlapping fullbacks. You've then got CK and Burner Boy in the middle, the most finessey midfield there is out there. WizKid pinging the balls in and around there from Cam. You've got Oxlade with the trickery on the left. You've got Kiz Daniel with the kind of potency from the right, and then you have the goal-scoring attributes of Ashark in my number 9 position. Guys, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts on this type of content. I like doing things a little bit different, especially when there aren't that many tracks being released. I've been planning this one for a little while, but yeah, let me know your thoughts, and of course, let me know your teams in the comment section down below, and if there's any other projects like this you'd like me to kind of do, I don't know, any sort of more sort of themed projects or kind of breakdowns or just like one-off things like this, please do let me know and I'll get right on it, because I'm looking for a bit more kind of varied content this year on the channel, as well, of course, as the kind of reactions, CubCast episodes and interviews that we do. So there we go. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you have, do make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page. Of course, turning notifications on as well, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff, and we shall see you all next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and peace.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CubCam TV. Stay locked.